Hey sneaker friends, how's it going today? So I'm going to talk today about another Puma shoe. If you recall, we had a look a few weeks ago about the Puma Mega NRGY. Now this NRGY foam is the Huntsman version of Boost, if you will, developed by Puma. So today's model is the Puma Jammin'. Same material, constructed and processed very, very differently. Let's check it out. Jammin' came out in November of 2017, so it's a little over 7 months old when I taped this. It was originally $160, but fortunately for me, it's on sale right now at $99. Now, I didn't see a new model out. Usually when they go on sale, it means maybe there's another new model coming out or the shoe just did not do that well. I bought a women's 7.5. It does fit a little bit short and a little bit narrow. So I do recommend getting a half size up. I do feel like my toes are kind of hitting the front of the shoe. If we take a look at the outsole, you'll notice that it has 100% coverage. Literally, every single area is covered. A majority is covered by this clear area. Now, from Puma's description on the shoe, it sounds like this might be a TPU outsole. The hardness measures at 70 to 75, so slightly harder than some of the hardest outsoles we've seen. And the rubber in the forefoot in heel is for extra grip. Now, because they described it as extra grip, it makes me think that the rubber has more traction than the TPU. If in fact this is TPU, I don't know, I don't have a lot of experience with TPU outsoles, and I'm not sure if it will be slippery when wet. So if any of you guys have tried this shoe, especially in the rain or on a wet surface, let us know in the comments if this is in fact slippery. Now the thickness of it is a 1.5 millimeter web with a 2 millimeter lug for a total of 3.5 millimeters of TPU. Now the benefit of having a TPU outsole is to see through it, but you do see through it, but you kind of don't. So I'm not sure if that benefit is worth it. You can see the difference in the white and black beads underneath. It's kind of interesting. I don't know. Now the midsole, this is what we talked about in the intro. So the NRGY foam is in bead form in the shoe. So literally it's like they took a box or a container, they filled it with these beads and figured out probably the right percentage of beads to have in there so that there was a little movement still available. Now, why they call it jammin' is the idea that every time you take a step, you're basically jamming the beads into the shape around your footbed that's stepping. So more or less, if you imagine when you take a heel step, you're displacing beads further forward. When your forefoot touches down, you might be displacing beads backwards or to the sides. Now, I understand that this could be very accommodating, right? Because it'll move out of the way and just provide you the cushioning based on this displacement. However, I found it because of the plastic that it's encapsulated in, which looks a lot like an Air Max bag. It's very hard underfoot. Like, this is pretty hard underfoot. I don't know if it softens up over time, but it would be interesting to see these after several miles in them of walking or just using them for months and see how it feels. If anybody's tried these for months, let us know in the comments if they soften up. Because right now, I mean, it's like a hard Air Max, I would say. Like, nothing like the Mega NRGY. Like, this feels soft like Boost. This feels hard like, I mean, Vapor Max feels pretty hard. This feels along the lines, I think, of a Vapor Max, maybe, for me at least. And I'm a women's size 7. 7.5 actually. Further on the midsole, there's a little transition, a little rand around the heel to give a little bit of heel stability, and there is an internal heel counter to stiffen it up. It's probably a medium to hard stiffness in the back. Now the upper is all one piece Evo knit, and it has a large seam on the medial side. That's a very large seam. Other than that, there's really not much. There's a slight collar foam in the heel, in the collar area in the heel, and a little bit of reinforcer in the midfoot area. In the eye stay area, you'll notice that you have an RF welded kind of design around the eye stay, and you have a standard kind of oval lace. It's really quite simple upper. It's not very breathable, but it does feel nice. Like when you slide in, it feels a bit luxurious. I really like the upper of this shoe. The Evo knit is a really nice material. Now the sock liner is quite thick, and it feels like to me that it's a pour-on material. It's average of 5 millimeters thick and gets a little thicker in the heel. The forefoot is slightly thinner, I believe, and it is molded. The Strobel is foam, and you can tell that it's glued all the way down. It's a very thin foam. It's only about 2 millimeters, 3 millimeters. And so it's adding a little bit of cushioning. So the only soft that you're feeling is literally the sock liner and a little bit of Strobel. You can tell by feeling the outside of the shoe. I mean, it is quite hard, and it is not very flexible at all. Now, when I weighed these shoes, the right came in at 331 grams and the left came in at 328. That's a total of 659 grams. Now, that's a heavy, heavy shoe. It is kind of a mid-top though, you have to admit, but you can tell that the weight of the sole is just very, very heavy on this shoe. So this is a very heavy shoe. You're not gonna, if you wanna like increase, like wear ankle weights, you could wear these maybe instead and still get some benefit. But an interesting point is with the NRGY pellets in it, there are only 3 grams difference between the two shoes. I thought that was fascinating. I expected there to be quite a weight difference with a knit upper and the bottom being the pellets, but it's only 3 grams. Well, that pretty much covers it for the Puma Jammin'. Now, let me know what you guys think of this shoe in the comments. If anybody's had them and worn them, do they get softer? Like, I was really hoping it would be a bit softer, and maybe it does over time. I'm not sure. I've not put a lot of time in these. They're just a little too warm right now for this hot Oregon weather. All right, hope you guys have an awesome day. See ya.